Well, keeping kids in the classroom, Oregon Governor Tina Kotek issuing a new executive order today aimed at preserving instructional time in Oregon schools. This as several districts have lopped off school days under budget constraints and say this could result in further staffing cuts. Jake Holter brings us a story from outside the Capitol.
With the fourth lowest amount of school days, Governor Kotek says this executive order is meant to stop the bleed of instructional time in Oregon.
We can't cut any more hours. We got to come up with other solutions within the existing budgets we have.
Oregon Governor Tina Kotek firm in her belief that students in Oregon need more instructional time.
We can simply not get better student outcomes if we continue to give our students less instructional time. Research shows us that reduced instructional time negatively impacts student learning, particularly for students already facing disparities, which widens the gap we all know we have to close.
The executive order she issued Thursday to combat this does three things. It preserves current student instructional time and protects it from further class time cuts. Districts who did cut time this year or plan to last year must submit plans to the state that show how they will restore that lost time by the 27-28 school year. The order ends the state's instructional time waivers that allow districts to fall below the minimum hours. Finally, the order eliminates professional development or parent-teacher conferences from counting towards the required instructional hours.
I think it's a really important first step. We've been saying kind of publicly, loudly to anyone who would listen, the first step is to stop cutting. That when we're 47th lowest in the country, if we're going to be talking about adding, we can't become 50th.
But students and educators we're hearing from are less than enthused by this executive order. The Oregon Education Association issued a statement criticizing Governor Kotek for not including them in the decision-making. OEA President Enrique Ferreira writes in part, quote, "Where public education is concerned, this is an all-hands-on-deck moment to address the problems that face Oregon, not a moment to make short-notice changes. This action shows that Governor Kotek may not be aligned with us on that." School districts also not pleased by the move. In a letter to the Board of Education, Portland Public Schools warns that, quote, "Mandating more instructional time without sufficient resources will put our district in a position where we will be forced to cut additional staff and student-facing services." Kotek says the Ed Department will explore potential options for helping out districts financially. The order takes effect immediately and will last for 180 days. In Salem, Jake Holter, KGW News.